can't imagine when you're small. When you look up at the sky and your sun and your moon and your whole world are the shining face of your mama. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. You can't imagine when you're small that someday you will hope and pray and want more than anything else to be someone else's shining face. But the moon comes and the moon comes. And every time it does, all the color leaks out of everything. Interestingly, the person who could understand the most was Penina. We're more like sisters than sister wives in that way, not close sisters, but women in a world run by men and women expected to be obedient and fruitful. Her babies came so easily, but she would know the fear of living without them. But now I smile at my enemies. And my husband struts and swaggers around like he did it all himself. Well, he doesn't know the half of it. He would not have brought me to Shiloh at all if he'd known how I would behave. But let him think he did it all. What can it hurt? What he knows is that we have finally been blessed. His Hannah is finally happy. I might even be worth more than 10 wives. Oh, but that day in Shiloh, I will never forget every second of that day as long as I live. The exhaustion from traveling all day and the heat and the food. As always, tasting like ash. I couldn't eat or drink and everyone would not stop talking. No, Penina, I do not want to hold your baby. And I had had enough. I got up and I slipped away and I walked off into the night and no one saw me go. And it was finally starting to cool off and the sand was still warm under my feet. And I walked to the temple. I had nowhere else to go. No one saw me still. And I walked through the door. And I smelled the cinnamon and the myrrh and the salt on my face. And behind the curtain, the glow, the Holy of Holies. I had nowhere else. And in a whisper, I poured out my soul. No one prays alone, certainly not a woman. What could I possibly say that could be of any use to anyone? But I am a good woman. I have lived a good and gentle life. I am not wicked, and I am not drunk. Well, that's the gist of what I said to the high priest anyway. And he was quiet for a very long time, and I thought, oh, Hannah, you've stepped in it now. And he stood up from his chair, and he stood very tall above me. And then he nodded. And I think he smiled. And he blessed me. He said, go in peace, and may the Lord grant you your petition. And I did, and the Lord has. And now I rejoice in God, who hears all of us, even the very smallest of us, in the worst day, in the longest year of our lives. God hears us and we go on. And Samuel is special. He's wise, I think. His solemn little brow and his long fingers, and all those women, the other mothers who used to whisper by their hands about me and stay away just in case being barren was contagious. Well, now they come every day. And they want to hold him and touch him and be with him because they know he's special. But he only looks at me. No matter who holds him, he looks for me. And late at night after I feed him, everyone else is asleep, I hold him close. And then I look down and he looks at me for a long time and I can feel my face shine. I am so, so grateful. I think I'll make him a coat.